Okay, before we even get started, you might actually want to sit down for this one. Today, we're diving into an explainer of 8 mind-bending stories that sound completely made up but are 100% real. You know that moment when someone casually drops a fact in conversation that is just so absurd you instantly reach for your phone to Google it? Yeah, save your battery. From time-bending history to just the sheer weirdness of biology, get ready to have your understanding of reality slightly tilted.
Let's jump right in with the concept of time. In 1896, a conflict kicked off between Britain and Zanzibar. Now, the fighting officially started right after breakfast at 9:02 a.m., and at 9:40 a.m., well, it was completely over. Just 38 minutes. That makes it officially the shortest war in recorded history. I mean, think about how unbelievably fast that is. That's less time than a standard coffee break. One side gave up so incredibly fast that historians actually debate whether it even counts as a war. Honestly, I've had arguments over what movie to watch that lasted way longer than 38 minutes.
But while that war ended literally in a flash, other things in human history just seem to completely ignore the passage of time entirely. Like 3,000 years. Archaeologists excavating ancient Egyptian tombs have uncovered sealed clay jars containing honey that are over 3 millennia old. And here's the part that sounds like total fiction. That ancient honey is still perfectly edible. No, really. You could open a jar that was sealed while pharaohs walked the earth, grab a spoon, and just eat it right now without getting sick.
So how is that even chemically possible? Well, first off, honey is highly acidic. And second, it barely contains any water at all. Because of this incredibly hostile, bone-dry environment, bacteria simply can't survive. They enter the honey, and boom, they're immediately destroyed. As long as those jars are properly sealed to keep the moisture out, that honey can literally outlive the civilization that originally made it. It's kind of crazy to think that somewhere out there's a 3,000-year-old piece of toast just waiting for this honey.
Moving on to biology breaking the rules. Let's step into the natural world, where animals have just completely ripped up the scientific playbook.
Take the octopus, for example. Now, we get by just fine with one heart, right? But an octopus, they have 3. 3 hearts. 2 of those have one very specific job, pumping blood directly to the gills, while the third heart handles pumping it to the rest of the body. But it gets even weirder. Our blood is red because it's built on iron-based chemistry. Octopuses, though, use copper-based chemistry to transport oxygen. And because of that elemental difference, if an octopus gets hurt, they don't bleed red. They actually bleed bright blue blood.
And that brings us to a biological anomaly that sounds straight out of a sci-fi movie. Turritopsis dohrnii. It's a bit of a mouthful, which is why scientists, and pretty much the rest of us, just call it the immortal jellyfish. This fascinating little creature actually does not die of old age. When it gets stressed, sick, injured, or just plain old, it literally reverses its own cellular aging process. It turns its adult cells back into a juvenile stage and just starts over. It's like a frog turning back into a tadpole just to hit the reset button. Biologically speaking, it's immortal.
To wrap up this biology section with a quick punchline, actual cubes. Seriously, we're talking about wombats here. Wombats are the only animals in the known world to have poop shaped like perfect cubes. It sounds like a total joke, I know, but it actually serves a highly practical purpose. They use their droppings to mark their territory, stacking them up on rocks or logs. By making them cube-shaped, the droppings don't roll away. Nature literally invented the biological building block just for territorial architecture.
Okay, next up, mind-bending, space, and math. We're talking scales that are almost too massive for the human brain to even comprehend.
This first one completely destroys how we understand calendars. A single day on Venus, so the time it takes the planet to complete one full rotation on its axis, takes 243 Earth days. But a year on Venus, the time it takes to orbit the Sun, only takes 225 Earth days. Do you see the paradox there? The planet spins so unbelievably slowly that a single day is actually longer than its entire year. You'd literally celebrate your next birthday before you even finished watching a single sunrise. If that doesn't break your brain, try processing this math. The estimated number of atoms in the entire observable universe, we're talking every star, every galaxy, every grain of sand, every drop of water, is roughly 10 to the 80th power. Okay? Now, the estimated number of possible unique chess games you can play on a standard board is 10 to the 120th power. That means there are massively more ways to play a game of chess than there are physical atoms in the universe. For all practical purposes, a simple game of chess is mathematically infinite.
Finally, let's look at Scotland's mythical mascot, an absolute outlier from history and mythology that really defies all logic.
So since the 13th century, Scotland's official national animal hasn't been a roaring lion or a soaring eagle or even a fierce bear. No, it's the unicorn, a creature that, doesn't actually exist. But what makes this truly remarkable is how it's treated. In Scottish royal coats of arms, the unicorn is famously depicted wrapped in heavy chains. Why? Well, because a free unicorn was considered just too dangerous, even in mythology. This imaginary horse was so powerful, they had to chain up a creature they literally invented just to feel safe.
Wow, we've covered a lot in this explainer today. A war that ended before lunch, honey that outlasts empires, octopuses bleeding blue, a jellyfish that just refuses to die, a planet where days outlast years, a board game larger than the universe itself, and a dangerously chained imaginary unicorn. Every single one sounds like a total lie, but is completely undeniably true. So the question is, which of these unbelievable facts are you going to share tonight? Pick your favorite and go blow someone's mind. Thanks for hanging out with me, and stay curious.